thought we might introduce this motorcycle I've been racing in modern races. This is a 1982 Yamaha IT 175, and it's been restored. The frame is powder coated, but other than that, everything on this bike, aside from the suspension internals, is stock. Every nut, every bolt, every bearing and seal is a Yamaha factory item. It still has the original toolkit in it. This is a beautifully restored motorcycle, and I would give credit to the guy, but I forgot his name. But I bought this bike with intention of racing it at the Vintage Cup at 6 days, but things have changed. I have been racing it. I sold my KTM and didn't have a modern bike, so I decided I was going to pull my most capable vintage bike out and start racing it. I raced this in Idaho City qualifier. I came home with a bronze medal from there and a 9th place finish on Saturday, and I did not ride Sunday because I was beat. So yeah, I have a DNF for the weekend, but I had a good day Saturday, even though I was tired. We put some good tires on it before we raced. It's got bib mousses in it. Race Tech did the shock and fork springs. There's no revalve in the forks, just the springs. But it is, everything on this is Yamaha. This is the original plastic, original front fender, original headlight. This is all original. We raced it again at the Mount Scott ISDE up in Tillamook State Forest, Oregon. We got 5th place there against the modern bikes. Very hot day. It was 111 degrees at the finish, and I was delirious. But it was really fun. I had a lot of fans at both of these races. Just from riding a 40-year-old motorcycle, I come into the checkpoints and people are excited to see a nice vintage bike and the guy riding it and finishing on it. And people really appreciate that, and it makes you feel good about your decision when that happens. It's pretty great. But this bike is I can give you a ride report on this one. It works really well. It has all of about 17 horsepower, so you're working it like a 65 when you're on the trail. It doesn't have a lot of torque. Yeah, big hills are a first gear and clutch affair, but it doesn't detract from the fun. It's really plush suspension. It's got this gigantic cushy seat if you need to sit down. You may have noticed, but I put some Renthal vintage high handlebars on it and took the Yamaha factory grips off to preserve the beautiful stock handlebars and grips so I didn't ruin them when I was racing it. But yeah, this is it may not be the fastest bike, but it sure is fun. It's friendly, it's easy to ride. The drum brakes work fine. You do have to stop and check your brakes. At each checkpoint, it's a good idea to hop off and give that back brake a couple of spins to keep it so you don't have to reach for that rear brake. That's new. I figured that would out on the fly. But it's a lot of fun, and I'd say if you have a vintage bike, if people like us started racing these things in modern races, maybe they'd make a vintage class and we could race against each other. But that would be fun. But yeah, this is a really neat bike. In fact, the fitment on this bike, this cockpit seat to peg to handlebar relationship reminds me an awful lot of this Beta cross trainer. So you get an idea if you've ridden either one of these what this IT feels like. Although the Beta has 3 times as much horsepower, so it's a lot more. In fact, that was another thing. This 175, I had to search for a tire that would be appropriate. This is the tiniest of tires. Anything bigger than this 350 18 is too much tire. It gets too much traction. You can't spin it going up hills, and that's a problem. But we found this Dunlop. It fits on there. It's absolutely appropriate, and it works really well. But it's not obnoxious. Sounds good. Start it up. No electric start on this one. 24 to 1 in race gas. Well, that's kind of the intro to this IT 175. I hope somebody likes that.